How significant are the steps that you're taking to pass on what you have received to the next generation? Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day number 3 of Chayei. Let's continue now in the narrative after Sarah has died and look in chapter number 24 of the book of Genesis or Bereshit, where we read verse 1, "And Abraham was old, advanced in years, and Yahweh had blessed Abraham in every way." When we read this, we would understand then that the promise that was made to Abraham, the prophecy that was given to him all the way back in chapter number 12 in Torah portion Lech Lecha. Yah says to Abraham there, he said, "I'm going to bless you, and I will make you a great nation and bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing." Well, it says here that Yah has blessed Abraham in every way. Abraham has put the land under his feet. That is, he has walked the length and breadth of the land to some degree, claiming the territory. He has become rich and increased in goods. He is considered a prince by his neighbors. He is held in great esteem and honor among the nations. Abraham has been faithful to preach the message that there is one true Elohim, not a pantheon or a multitude of idol gods. Abraham has been faithful to the word. Now, it's not that he hasn't made mistakes along the way. Certainly we all do. But Abraham has been faithful to the calling that Yah has given to him and to the purposes that have been assigned to him. So now that he has put away his wife at burial, he is looking forward now to the next generation. He has an heir. He has a select heir. Yah has given him a sure word. It's in Yitzhak that your name shall be called. So he understands that everything that I have accomplished is to be handed to my son Yitzhak, not to Ishmael, and later on, and not to the sons of Keturah, but to Yitzhak. Everything goes to him. The covenant goes to him. The one thing that has not been accomplished is nations. I will make you a mighty nation. In order for that to come to pass, the next generation has got to be able to reproduce. Yitzhak needs a bride. Now, at this point, Yitzhak's in excess of 37 years of age. We know from reading later on that he is 40 when he gets married. So there's a period of time here. Abraham is old, he's well advanced in age, and he knows my days are limited. I need to see to this business. From this, we see then that it is the role of the father to find a bride for his son. Now, where is Yitzhak? We haven't seen him or heard from him since Abraham laid him on the altar and was about to take his life. Where is he? The rabbinical mind says, well, he was in either a yeshiva learning. Who would have been teaching a yeshiva here? Well, Shem and Eber are still alive at this point. Shem, the son of Noah, actually outlives Abraham. And that's a possibility, I suppose. The mystical Jewish mind, those who study the deeper writings of Judaism, say, well, he is in Gan Eden. He's in the Garden of Eden. Well, it's a little fanciful in my imagination to say that. I don't know that anyone has been back to the Garden of Eden yet. But the idea is that he is at a place of exaltation. You see, he has been a korban. He has a living sacrifice in that he has been laid on the altar, and as close as can be, his life has been given over to Yah. So he no longer belongs to himself. Later on, when we see that there's a famine in the land, Yah prevents him from going out of the land, going down to Mitzrayim as his father did. That is, he needs to stay in close proximity to the altar from which he has been laid. So there is an understanding that as this living sacrifice is now existing, he is a very set apart individual. Where is he? We don't hear from him. We don't read that he attended his mother's funeral. He's nowhere to be found. It's interesting that as a type of Messiah, for some 3 years, from the time of 37 years of age until 40, we don't read about him. 3 years, 3 days. Yeshua also was hidden for 3 days and then suddenly shows up. So coincidence? Not hardly. So Yah chooses the bride for his son. Abraham used the agency of one that was an exalted servant. Yah uses the agency of the Ruach Kodesh to find the bride for Yeshua. Now let's clarify a thought here. I am not suggesting, nor should it be understood, that the body of Messiah is feminine in its identity, in its role playing, or in its makeup. Bride here is a descriptive, it is a term used to denote those that will produce sons and daughters for the husband, the husbandman. The bridegroom is Messiah Yeshua. His bride then is that which is his body, those that belong to him by the ketubah of the Torah. The ketubah is the marriage contract. It is the statement that the bridegroom gives to the bride to say, these are the benefits that I am contractually, covenant, obligated to give to you. Your housing, your care, your food, your intimacy, your importance. I am a covering for you. I am a protector of you. I am a provider for you. You are significant to me. You are the primary bride, on and on. Your children will be heirs of my estate or of my kingdom. And so it is the role of those who belong to Messiah Yeshua to produce sons and daughters that will rise up and follow in his footsteps, learning from the Torah of the mother, from Proverbs chapter 1, the importance of his commands and his ways and his teachings. So we are to raise up those that will be like the bridegroom. Now again, this is role descriptive, not necessarily personality or gender. Shouldn't have to say that, but sometimes with the internet, and especially with Facebook doctrines going around, you have to be clear. That all understood, then who is the one that Yah uses? Well, he chooses to use the agency of the Ruach Kodesh. In Yochanan chapter 14 and verse number 16, Yeshua says, I shall ask the Father, and he shall give you another helper to stay with you forever. In verse 26, but the helper, the set-apart Spirit, whom the Father shall send in my name, he shall teach you all and remind you of all I have said to you. In the book of the book of Acts, chapter number 1, beginning with verse 4, and meeting with them, he commanded them not to leave Jerusalem, but to wait for the promise of the Father, which you have heard from me, because Yochanan truly immersed in water, but you shall be immersed in the set-apart Spirit not many days from now. So when they had come together, they asked him, saying, Master, would you at this time restore the rain to Israel? And he said to them, it is not for you to know the times or seasons which the Father has put in his own authority, but you shall receive power when the set-apart Spirit has come upon you, and you shall be my witnesses, that is, raising up children in Jerusalem and in all Yehuda and Shomron and to the end of the earth. So it is the role of the Ruach Kodesh to produce a bride-like quality in you and I, to where we have an intimate personal relationship with our bridegroom, Yeshua, to raise up sons and daughters to be like him. Thank you, Father, for finding the bride and for including us in that entity. We'll talk more about this tomorrow, and until then, shalom.